So I didn't really have any hype for this movie going in. I didn't really enjoy Bumblebee personally. Now, most of the reason why I don't like Bumblebee is because I am a big fan of the original Bayverse trilogy. I like 2007 Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon a lot, and those have always been my favorite Transformers movie. I have always liked those movies, and the Bumblebee movie just gets so much love from so many people who just endlessly shit on those three movies that it rubs me the wrong way, because I personally don't like the Bumblebee movie I personally don't like the Bumblebee movie very much, and it was definitely because that was definitely a contributor about it. That's one thing that I really don't like about the Transformers community, is that they're so unwelcoming to people who like other maybe more controversial things. Like, yeah, I like the first three Bayverse movies. Doesn't mean I'm a fucking warlord, dude. I just like the movies. I'm sorry, I grew up with them, I enjoy them. And yeah, and I literally, before I went and saw this movie, I rewatched the first three Bayverse movies again, and I absolutely loved them. I know I said in that recent BBTS unboxing, you know, I can have fun with Revenge of the Fallen. Man, I rewatched Revenge of the Fallen, and I love Revenge of the Fallen, man. I'm thinking I'm gonna make a video about this some other day, so I'm not gonna spend too long on this, but I fucking love that movie, man. That movie is such a blast. Oh my god. So yeah, and I haven't really enjoyed these newer Transformers movies because to me they had this weird vibe to them that they never feel like they're, I don't know. It's a similar vibe that I get to the Disney live action remakes. I watched that Cruella movie, that Disney Cruella movie, and the vibe of that movie just felt so much like it didn't want to be a movie, like it didn't want to be a story, that it was just trying to be something that made money. That's what I got off of it. The whole vibe I got from that movie was just greed and bullshit. And that's exactly the same vibe I got from the Bumblebee movie personally. I know that's not a popular opinion, but that is what I got from that movie, and that is absolutely what I got from Rise of the Beasts as well. Real quick before I get into this review, I'm just gonna ask you guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. I would very much appreciate it. And you know, if you don't, hey, I don't imagine this is gonna be a very popular video because of everything I've already said, but I'm sorry. I'm gonna defend the movies that I like, okay? So let's get into this. Now I will say this right off the bat. This movie's not a dumpster fire, and I would absolutely say that this movie is absolutely better than Bumblebee, Age of Extinction, and The Last Knight. And honestly, it is probably a higher quality movie than Revenge of the Fallen, but I just have so much goddamn fun with Revenge of the Fallen, man. So yes, this movie is definitely superior than a good chunk of the live action movies. And there's a lot of things in this movie that I actually really liked. And we're gonna start off with that. We're gonna start off with the positives. By the way, this is a full spoiler review. I will be spoiling things in the movie because, yeah, okay. First thing I will say that I absolutely loved about this movie was some of the takes on some of the characters. If I'm being honest, the thing that I wanted the most from this movie, my favorite Transformers character is Arcee. A lot of you know this. My favorite Transformers character is Arcee. Arcee literally shows up on the screen in every single piece of Transformers media she's in and steals the show for me. She's, in my opinion, always just the best written character, the most likable character. Her design is always perfect and spot on. I adore the character of Arcee in pretty much every single incarnation. She is basically my favorite character in literally every piece of Transformers media that she appears. She's badass, she's awesome, she's likable, she's not too like edgy or anything. She's just the quintessential Transformers character in my opinion. And once again, they prove that they just cannot fuck up Arcee. Well, except for Revenge of the Fallen. Because Arcee in Rise of the Beast was absolutely amazing. Just like every other incarnation of Arcee, she showed up and she stole the show. She was amazing. I loved every second she was on screen. I love her design in this movie. I think it is absolutely phenomenal. Possibly one of the best G1 inspired designs of Arcee. It is just immaculate. I love everything about it. It is such an amazing design, and I really hope we get a more accurate Studio Series figure. I'm probably going to pick up that core class anyway because I collect Arcees, but I really hope we get a more accurate Studio Series figure. Or hell, if a third-party company wants to make that, that might be the way you get me, man, because I would want an accurate version, an accurate figure of that Arcee design. That is a phenomenal design. Her voice actor was amazing. Every scene she was in, she stole the show. Her action was great. Her personality was great. She is, once again, the best character in any piece of Transformers media. I cannot stress enough that I got everything I wanted out of this movie because all I really wanted wanted was to see my favorite Transformers character on the big screen and utilized to her ability like an actual character, unlike what they did with her in Revenge of the Fallen. And that's exactly what I got. So I'm perfectly satisfied. 100%. This movie has come and existed, and I am totally fine with that because it gave me something I have been wanting for a very, very, very long time. And on that note, it also gave me a couple other incarnations of characters. One that I cannot believe was Bumblebee. I absolutely loved Bumblebee in this movie. He was kind of snarky and fun, but he had some really badass moments too. And honestly, like his big moment towards the end of the movie was one of my favorite scenes of the entire movie, and it was probably my favorite scene of the last half of the movie. I absolutely loved Bumblebee in this movie. I could not believe how much I loved Bumblebee in this movie. This is actually probably my favorite incarnation of Bumblebee of all time. I will say that Earthspark had a very good incarnation of Bumblebee. That is another one of my favorites, but this is probably my favorite Bumblebee ever. He was pretty much perfect in this movie. He felt badass, and he actually, like, the radio thing actually was so entertaining every single time they used it. I loved Bumblebee in this movie. I cannot wait till I can find one of those new versions of that Studio Series figure with the painted face so I can get that figure in my collection, and that can be my definitive Bumblebee forever and ever and ever, dude. I loved Bumblebee in this movie. He was amazing. And then another character that they crushed with this movie was Cheetor. Holy mother of God, Cheetor was awesome in this movie. Unfortunately, he barely did anything in the movie, but my God, for what he did in the movie, he was amazing. This is far and beyond my favorite version of Cheetor that has ever existed. His voice was perfect. His design was awesome. I love him. I love this version of Cheetor. I gotta get that Studio Series figure, man. I loved Cheetor in this movie. This is literally my favorite version of Cheetor. I absolutely loved him. So yeah, that was another thing I really liked. Scourge was a pretty solid villain. I would say he's one of the better villains we've had recently. Oh, I forgot to put Shatter up there. Oh well. I would say he's one of the better villains we've had, actually. Peter Dinklage was a really amazing voice for Scourge, and I definitely thought he was intimidating at times, and I liked him. I liked him as a character. He was a very fun character. The other two Terracons were also pretty cool. I actually like Nightbird a lot. I hope we got a Studio Series Nightbird coming as well. Very cool character. All the voice acting was on point as well. I really did like Scourge a lot. And my final positive I'm going to give this movie is that the first act of this movie, oh my God, I actually thought, for the first act of this movie, I actually thought that my favorite Transformers movie could finally be dethroned. I was in love with this movie for the first half. I was absolutely in love with it. I loved Noah. I loved Mirage. I loved the way they were using the Autobots. I loved the action. I loved the Terracons. I loved how they were working in the Maximals in the opening scene. I loved how we saw Unicron at the beginning. I was loving this movie. And that's going to be my final positive, because unfortunately, when we got to about the second half of the movie where they got to Peru, this movie completely nosedived for me. I'm sorry if that pisses you off, but I'm just giving my honest opinion here. I really did not enjoy this movie once they got to Peru. It absolutely just felt like a big CGI, lifeless clusterfuck that just wanted to sell toys. That is literally all I got from the second half of this movie. The first act, amazing. I cannot stress enough. It was fucking awesome. It was funny. It was action-packed. It was great. It was legitimately well-written story, and I was loving it to death. And then the second half came, and this was just, oh my God, it was just a ton of CGI and just, man, it was CGI, and they just stopped developing the characters, the human characters. They were just like, that's it. That's all the development they get. We're just gonna move on now. They didn't do it, and then it just fucking cruises into the final act like nothing. You just get like this little scene of them searching for this fucking key, and then you have AirRaiser, and then AirRaiser gets like shot by Scourge with this thing, who, by the way, we literally never even see transform. Oh my God, we're gonna talk about the way the beasts were used in this movie. But yeah, AirRaiser gets shot by Scourge, by this weird thing Scourge has. I don't know, some kind of like fucking transmitter. That's another thing in this movie. There are so many things in this movie that make no fucking sense in the realm of the Transformers. I'm getting off topic here. The whole second half of this movie was so nothing. Like, I cannot stress enough how much this movie just drove off a cliff after the first act, man. For me, anyway. I'm sure a lot of people really loved it. I know a lot of people really loved it. But for me, man, the second half of this movie was just, it just felt like the most greedy cash grab shit I've ever seen in my life, honestly. The way they used the Maximals in this movie was garbage. Even Cheetor, as much as I loved him in this movie, he has like 3 lines of dialogue. 3 lines of dialogue. AirRaiser never transforms and then dies. And she gets, the way they write it is that Primal has to kill Airazor. So yeah, that'll make Beast Wars fans happy. We didn't already get traumatized from watching Airazor die in the original Beast Wars. Now we had to watch her get killed by Optimus Primal in this movie. Rhinox says one line, I think, in the entire movie, and the Maximals do next to nothing for the plot except at the end they help them fight them. And what the fuck was the point? What the fuck was the point of bringing the Maximals into this? What the fuck was the point of calling this movie Rise of the Beasts? If you've seen Beast Wars is a very character-driven show, and it's a really good show. Beast Wars is a legitimately great entry in the Transformers franchise. And this movie just shoehorned the 4 Maximals they used in it into it. It was 100% just for cash grab. It was 100% just to get more butts in the seat and to sell more toys. And in all honesty, I'm kind of okay with that because these Rise of the Beast figures have been really great so far, and I'll talk about that a little bit more before we end the video. But yeah, like the fucking Maximals, they were. The Maximals were so underused in this movie, it's not even funny. Like, I heard a lot of people praising how much they used Optimus Primal and Airazor. Couldn't disagree more. I didn't give even 1% of a fuck about either Optimus Primal or Airazor in this movie. I will say the voice acting was great. Michelle Yeoh and Ron Perlman were amazing as the voices, but that's only going to get you so far, man. You got to have good writing, and you have to be used in your story in order for me to care about you as a character. And I felt nothing. When he killed Airazor, I felt nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. At the beginning of the movie, when they're like running away from Scourge and then the other guy gives up his life, I felt nothing. I felt nothing. They did not do anything with the Maximals in this movie. The best thing the Maximals did with this movie, aside from Cheetor, because again, this is my favorite version of Cheetor ever, is at the end of the movie in the fight, Optimus Primal runs at them and goes, "Maximize!" And that was hype as shit. That was easily one of my favorite scenes in the movie because it was so awesome. Because up to this point, they literally don't even transform. The Maximals literally haven't even transformed. They have been in beast mode the entire goddamn movie. And then you get to this, and he finally says that fucking word that we all wanted him to say, and it was epic. And then they followed it up with the most bullshit CGI garbage fest I think I've seen in so long. This was literally like a fucking Avengers third act, dude. Just this entire CGI army of generic things just falls down from the sky, and we just get this ridiculous action scene of it's garbage, dude. Everybody shits on the first Bayverse movie, but good lord, the amount of setup that they have for the Decepticons' attack on the city, and then you get to the payoff, and you actually get, like, every single one of the Decepticons get, like, their own, like, crucial scene and everything. Like, you get to that final act, and you've got, like, Starscream jumping in fucking F-22s and, like, blowing up and transforming back and blowing shit up and transforming back. It's fucking epic. They're fucking running through this city, and Brawl's blowing shit up, and Sam's trying to run, and you see Blackout just transform and just blast off over his head, dude. That first movie, you're never going to change my mind. It's a masterpiece. The Transformers 2007 movie by Michael Bay is a goddamn masterpiece, and you will not change my mind. So stop trying. Stop trying, okay? This movie, the end of this movie just felt like it felt like it didn't want to be a movie. It felt like it wanted to sell me fucking toys. And you know what? At the end of the day, yes, that is what pretty much every Transformers piece of fiction is trying to do. But some of them can really masquerade it a lot better. Like that 2007 movie. Fight me. I don't care. I love that movie. Like this show. Transformers Prime. This is the unequivocal best piece of Transformers media ever. And again, you will never change my mind, so don't even try. When this entire I felt nothing. I felt nothing of these characters. I felt nothing of this action. I felt nothing. And you have this stupid ass fucking bit where where Noah is like getting protected by Mirage in admittedly a very, kind of emotionally powerful scene where Mirage is like taking bullets for him to protect him. And then Mirage turns into an exosuit for him. Since when? The people say that the first 3 Bayverse movies have shitty writing and lazy writing. Since fucking when can Autobots turn into an exosuit for humans and a garbage truck earlier in the movie? That's not how the Transformers works, dude. I'll tell you what that is. It's just lazy writing in order to make this happen and sell toys. Good God, we're gonna get fucking core class Noah. Guarantee you that's gonna happen. I felt nothing. And then you get the fucking end of this movie and they give you this G.I. Joe thing. And I was like, well, that's the final nail in the coffin. I hate this movie. That was the point where I was like, yeah, fuck this movie. Because I don't understand. The title of this is I don't get it. This is what I don't get. I don't get how people think this movie is better than the first three Bayverse movies. This is my opinion. This is only my opinion. You can love what you love. If you love this movie, great. Love it. If you love the Bumblebee movie, great. Love it. I don't understand how in any Bumblebee movie, not so much. I'm talking about Rise of the Beast right now. I don't understand how in any fucking way, shape, and form somebody could look at this movie and watch it and tell me that this is a better film than at least the first Michael Bay movie. I don't. The writing was awful. The character development was non-existent. The characters were also they felt so fake. Like, at one point in the movie, his brother watches Mirage turn from a car into a giant robot, and he has literally no reaction whatsoever. Compare that to the 07 movie, where the first time Sam watches Barricade come to life in front of him, it is such, you can see the fear and emotion in his fucking face, compared to the first time that this kid in this new continuity sees a fucking robot erupt from a car, and it's just like, how? In what world is that superior? In what world is that good character development? In what world is that good character writing? How? How is this garbage CGI gore fest better than the absolutely legendary third act of the first Michael Bay movie that is literally built up for the entire movie and is just 30 straight minutes of balls to wall insane action everywhere? Another thing that I could not stand while watching this movie that was literally just filling me with rage as I was watching this movie. 90% of Bayverse haters will use the argument that they hate Optimus Prime in the Bayverse movies, that he is this murderous psychopath and he's nothing like the original Optimus Prime. He's not, he's not caring, or he's not benevolent, he's not kind to humans or anything like that. And yet, this movie's Optimus gets a pass? In what world? In what world is this Optimus, is this version of Optimus any fucking different than the Optimus from the first Michael Bay movie? Aside from his fucking vehicle mode. Oh, he looks more like G1, therefore he is superior. I don't get it. It's the same exact version of Optimus from the last 4 Bay movies. The way he kills Scourge in this movie is exactly among the same mean-spirited way that he kills the Fallen, that he kills Sentinel Prime, that he kills Megatron in Dark of the Moon. It's the exact same shit. It's gruesome, it's brutal, and the entire movie from the minute Optimus Prime finds Scourge, he's like, I'm gonna kill this guy, I'm gonna bury him, I'm gonna fucking murder him. It's the same goddamn character. You just want to hate that version of Optimus Prime because you want something to fire at us Bayverse fans. It's the same fucking character in every way. If anything, it's worse, actually. In the first scene Optimus shows up, he grabs Noah off the ground like a fucking doll. Compare that to how Optimus treats humans in 2007. He won't attack them to save his friend that is being captured by them. He goes to great lengths to keep he has like Michaela and Sam up there. They fall and he fucking swings down to catch them before they fall to their death. At the end of the movie, he's like, when Ironhide is telling him, why are we trying to save the humans? They're a violent race and all that. Optimus is like, were we so different, Were we so different? They are a young species. They have much to learn. That's what he said. And in this movie, he's just like, I want to go home. Fuck this place. Literally the whole movie, he's just like, I just want to go back to Cybertron. I fucking hate this world. This is the worst Optimus Prime I have seen in so long, it's not even funny. And I cannot feel in my heart how anybody in their right mind could actually look at this version of Optimus Prime and say this is superior to the Bayverse Optimus Prime. Ugh. Also, the fucking MacGuffin in this movie, the transmitter key, that thing is, they literally bring it in, and then they have this girl like discover it, and then they have that, and they have to go find this like other one, and there's no, if you feel nothing from this little thing, you don't feel anything of like, if they get this, the world's gonna end, because they literally get it, and they're like, oh, we're all fucked, they're gonna fucking bring Unicron and eat the world, and they're all just sitting around like, well, we lost, fuck, shit, balls and cock, man. In the first movie, it literally takes all the way to the third act of the movie for us to get to the Allspark. And the search for that is so immense, you know, like the Decepticons trying to find it through like hacking through all the like military thing and going after Sam for the glasses and all that, and the way that they slowly go through it, you know, Blackout goes to that military base, learn some information, Barricade and Frenzy go on that airplane, learn some information, learn about Sam, go find Sam. There is so much buildup. It is phenomenal. The structure of that movie blows every single fucking scene from Rise of the Beast and Bumblebee out of the water in sheer just, it has a structure. It has a story. There's an actual story here that is trying to be a movie, not a fucking toy commercial. There is thought and there is time put into how this movie goes forward and gets to its final act. I'm talking about 2007. And in this movie, there's just this fucking key. They go after the key, the bad guys get it, and they're like, well, oh shit, and then they have to go attack. And for some reason, it's able to be shut down by a key code, and there's literally this convenient little hallway and this little control panel for humans on this Cybertronian thing. And that's another thing. They go to this volcano thing. It's literally just like a volcano. The Terracons just go to this volcano thing, and he puts the little fucking cyber key in there. And the fucking entire, like, a city erupts from nothing. That's not how matter works. That's not how nanomachines work. Yeah, DK, this movie's way better than the Transformers 2007 movie. I mean, he just puts a thing in a volcano and then it brings a fucking building out of nowhere. That's how it works. I'm just angry. This movie I really don't care that this movie is terrible. Wrapping up this review, I think this movie's terrible. However, I will say, it's not unwatchable. It's not an unwatchable movie. There's things to enjoy in this movie, like what I talked about in the beginning. You know, I love the first act. I loved RC. I loved Cheetor. I loved Bumblebee. There was good things in this movie. 100%. It's a watchable movie. It's way better than Age of Extinction. Way better than Last Night. Way better than Bumblebee, in my opinion. But what really pisses me off with this movie is not the movie itself. I'm just a Bayverse fan, dude, and I'm in this community, and everywhere I go in this community, oh, fuck you, Bayverse sucks, oh god, fuck this guy, get him out of here. And then we get a movie like this, and I just do not get it. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like and subscribe for some more Transformer content in the future. And this is DK Guillotine.